Imagine this completely insane scene high above the vast Alaskan wilderness. You're cruising in a tiny bush plane at 8,000 feet, engine roaring, wind whipping through the open door, snow-capped mountains stretch forever below. The pilot is gripping the controls, focused on not crashing into a glacier. Sitting squeezed in the back is a massive bull moose. Antlers so big they scrape the ceiling, steam puffing from its nostrils, looking equal parts confused and mildly offended by the whole situation. You turn to your buddy with a wild grin and shout over the engine noise, "Hey, what if we just pushed him out? Bet he'd fly like a champ." Before your friend can even respond, you unclip the imaginary seatbelt, give the moose a big friendly shove toward the open door, and yell, "Geronimo!" The moose's eyes go wide with pure betrayal. Its legs flail wildly as it tumbles out into the sky, antlers spinning like helicopter blades, letting out a long, cartoonish moose that echoes across the tundra. For a brief second, it actually looks like it's skydiving, until gravity takes over. Suddenly, the pilot spins around in horror, nearly stalling the plane. "What the hell are you idiots doing? That's illegal!" You blink innocently. Pushing a moose out of an airplane? The pilot, completely dead serious. Exactly. In Alaska, it is strictly illegal to push a moose out of an aircraft while in flight. You just committed a Class A misdemeanor. Yes, this is one of the most gloriously stupid and hyper-specific laws still technically on the books in Alaska. You are not allowed to push, shove, drop, or otherwise eject a live moose from an aircraft while in flight. Stick around, we're diving head first, or rather moose first, into the craziest, funniest, and most unnecessary wildlife law you'll ever hear. Why on earth did Alaska need to ban moose skydiving? Who actually tried it? Is it still enforceable today? And what happens if you dare to turn a majestic 1,000-pound animal into an unwilling parachutist? By the end of this video, you'll be laughing.
Subscribe and drop a like.
So hard you'll spill your coffee while imagining moose raining from the sky. Welcome to Law Tunes USA, the channel that fearlessly drags America's strangest, dumbest, and most brain-melting laws into the spotlight with bright cartoons, savage satire, and non-stop laughs. Today's episode is pure Alaskan madness at 10,000 feet. No pushing moose out of airplane in Alaska. Insane law tune. This law is a true masterpiece of over-specific legislation. It comes from old aviation and wildlife protection codes written back when some overly enthusiastic or possibly intoxicated bush pilots thought it would be hilarious or efficient to drop moose from planes, maybe for population control, maybe for scientific research, or maybe just because Alaska makes people do increasingly unhinged things. Lawmakers took one look at the reports and said, "Nope, we need a law for this right now." The wording is beautifully blunt. It is unlawful to push, shove, eject, or otherwise remove a live moose from an aircraft while in flight over the state of Alaska. No exceptions for "the moose looked like it wanted to fly." No loopholes for "it was just a prank, bro." Just a hard, antler-crashing no. Let's animate the glorious chaos. A bright red bush plane is buzzing over dramatic Alaskan mountains and tundra. Inside, two excited guys are struggling to push a very large, very confused bull moose toward the open door. The moose has its hooves planted firmly, eyes wide, looking back with total betrayal. One guy counts 1, 2, 3, and they shove hard. The moose tumbles out into the blue sky, legs kicking wildly, antlers spinning like helicopter blades, with a long, trailing moose sound effect. The pilot spins around in horror, nearly losing control of the plane. Are you insane? That's illegal moose ejection. Cut to the courtroom for maximum satirical comedy. The two defendants sit there looking sheepish and covered in moose hair. The judge slams the gavel so hard the bench shakes. You have been charged with unlawfully ejecting a moose from an aircraft in flight. How do you plead? One guy shrugs with a nervous smile. "Not guilty, Your Honor. We thought it would be funny and maybe help with migration. The prosecutor dramatically holds up a diagram of a falling moose with motion lines. Your Honor, this is animal cruelty at 10,000 feet. They turned a majestic creature into an unwilling parachutist without proper permits. The defense lawyer desperately argues. Objection, the moose landed safely, mostly, and it was a soft tundra landing. The judge sighs the deepest sigh of a man who has heard every ridiculous excuse in Alaskan history. Guilty as charged. Fined $5,000 each, lifetime ban from all Alaskan airspace, and you must attend Respect the Moose rehabilitation class for 6 months. No more airborne moose tossing. The what-if scenarios turn the absurdity to 11. A group of tourists on a scenic flight spots a moose on the ground and
Subscribe and drop a like.
asks, "Can we push one out for a better view?" The pilot immediately locks the door. Sit down and enjoy the scenery. An influencer tries to film the extreme Alaskan moose skydiving challenge. The moment the door opens, game wardens somehow appear mid-air. Content terminated for illegal moose ejection. 2 hunters arguing in the plane. If we push it out, it's faster than landing and tracking. A warden is already waiting on the ground with handcuffs. Nice try, boys. A moose protest outside the courthouse. A group of angry moose holding signs that say, "Stop dropping us," and "We have hooves, not wings," with dramatic antler waving. Even if this law is rarely enforced in 2026, because actually getting a moose into a small plane is already a miracle, it perfectly captures the wild, untamed spirit of Alaska. Enormous animals, enormous wilderness, and laws written precisely because someone, somewhere, probably tried it once. Bonus insanely weird Alaska laws that prove the state doesn't do anything small. No pushing moose out of airplanes, today's flying champion. It's illegal to whisper in another person's ear while they're moose hunting. You cannot feed moose alcohol. Yes, really. You can't wake a sleeping bear just to take its photo. Alaska doesn't write small laws. They write laws for people who live in a place where pushing a full-grown moose out of an airplane might actually seem like a good idea on a slow Tuesday. So here's the final verdict, dripping with sarcasm. Is it illegal to push a moose out of an airplane in Alaska? Yes, and lawmakers felt the need to put it in writing because someone clearly tried it. Today, you probably won't get arrested for just thinking about it, but if you actually do it, enjoy your very expensive fine, lifetime flying ban, and a very angry moose waiting for you on the ground. Next time you're flying over the Alaskan tundra and see a moose below, just give it a friendly wave from the window. Do not push. If this moose-tastic sky-falling story made you laugh until you snorted, shake your head in disbelief, or suddenly want to book a flight to Alaska, without any pushing plans, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to Law Tunes USA and hit the bell for a new animated weird law disaster every single day. Comment below, what's the craziest law you've ever heard from your state or country? I read every single comment and love the chaos you bring. Until next time, stay curious, stay legal, and whatever you do, never ever push a moose out of an airplane. See you in the next one.